Hello, welcome back to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. Now, it's been a few days, probably like almost a whole week since I actually filmed any of this because I'm several episodes ahead. It's currently, well, it's past midnight here now, but it's the 6th of July, and I have episodes uploaded until like the 11th, so I'm still pretty good. It's every other day. So it doesn't, it's like maybe two more episodes or three. I don't know, but I figured I'd hop on and play a little bit. I just finished up my Rule the Waves 3 campaign for the US starting in 1890 just the other, like last night. And I'm going to have some free time here to focus a little bit more on this sort of thing and play some stuff that I don't stream. I don't stream anything, but I don't record, like some stuff that I don't record essentially. But let's see how this goes. So we've got the Florida State Militia here. It looks like it finally disengaged from this battle. We've got the Army of the West coming in over here, it looks like. I'm just trying to remind myself of everything that's been going on. Army of Tennessee, looking pretty good. I think I'm going to pursue Army of Mississippi, Army of Ohio. Yeah, I think I'm going to pursue Department of the West, and I believe we beat them in a battle. Actually, no, there's only 2,000 in there. What's going on? Well, we've captured Jackson, Corinth. Let's pop down here real quick and capture this. And take a look in the east, just to make sure there's nothing too weird going on. Looks like we got armies on the move here. Army of the Cumberland, that's only 4,000 troops only, but it's an army I can't actually contest right now. This army here is on a delay, it looks like. Don't know what they're doing. But they do have orders to move, so hopefully they will get going here soon. And then we're doing okay here in the east. Army of the Potomac, Army of Occupation, 3,000. We could go over there and, excuse me, I gotta clear my throat. We can go over here and kind of put a thumping on those fellas. And we want to get the Army of the Potomac over here in the Shenandoah somewhere. It looks like we're good on supplies. We're pretty good on supplies there. So let's get them over here into the Shenandoah to support the Army of the Shenandoah. And when I say the Shenandoah, I mean this particular valley here. Excuse me. And then we need to come over here and recapture Frederick, or Fredericksburg. But for now, let's do this here. I do need to go back up here and capture St. Louis while I'm working on this, but hopefully we'll get a fight here. And real quick, just need to remind myself, I think it's going to be a while. Yeah, it's still going to be another 9 days before the Militia Act is approved. Here we go. So this is a good chance for us to try to break this army. It's already in low organization or low morale, and we want to take this opportunity while we can to just further damage their troop numbers, further damage their morale, and kind of chase them out of Missouri for now, get them out of the way. And we outnumber them, but not by all that much. We still have another army marching on us in the south there. I think that was like the Army of Ohio or something like that. So we're fighting two armies at once. Alrighty, so they are green, and they're eager. And weirdly enough, we're on the defense here, which I don't really understand. But they're more than likely gonna either march straight down. They're probably gonna march like over here to the road and then come down. So it would be really nice to be able to go hold these bridges. Or they might cross right here. This looks like a ford on the map at least. It's like this level. So let's go ahead and grab our army, put them into single file. We've done a lot of fighting with this army. We're still considered untrained. So I have a feeling they'll be coming down this main road, because there's not really, like, they could technically kind of come down here or something weird, or try to come down here. But if we, I don't know, I kind of have an idea of what I want to do here. So here's Pickett's division. He only has 2 brigades. So I think I'm going to send him off to, what is this, King's Ford? So I'm going to put him here on the road, like so. Let's grab our cavalry. We'll put it up in front. There we go. We got Pillow's brigade, his division, which does a lot of the fighting. And then Longstreet can be in the rear. He'll go wherever he needs to go. Then we're going to put artillery up here in front as well. Okie dokie. So let's end our deployment, and I guess we could try to get artillery up here behind these fences. I want to get, where's Pickett? Pickett, you're going to go over here to the ford. We're going to put Pillow. This actually looks like a pretty decent place to hold here. I don't want to get in these houses or anything, but I'll have to, like, I'll put them back here and I'll kind of finagle it a little bit once they actually arrive here. Then Longstreet, he's going to be sort of back here, ready to swing off to the right if they try to cross this little ford here. And then we're going to use our cavalry to grab hold of this objective. And Lee, he's just going to march up and kind of be in the middle of it all. So let's put it on 20 speed. See where the enemy decides to go. It looks like some of them are marching over, like the artillery and whatnot is going over to the road, and everything else is cutting across country. So we should be able to get into position before them, maybe? We'll see. It might be a little bit tight. Smith, he's got rifle muskets. Sort of put him, I think, like, yuck, like this. Let's see here. We'll grab McCulloch. Muskets. He takes a lot of the brunt of the fighting, but I could put him right there, perhaps. And there should be one more. There's Ruggles, and that's also muskets. So we'll put him back here as sort of the left flank. And then here's Johnston. He's in Pickett's division. Or not Pickett. He's in Longstreet's division. Well, Smith got up here quick. Boy, he's fast. In fact, he might need to deploy kind of like this to get his gun, or to get their rifles into the fight. Well, we're looking pretty good here. My worry is that they have rifles, and they're just going to sit across the river and just kind of pummel us a little bit. I've got Johnston. He's got Mississippi rifles. He's not a very big brigade. Yeah, they're swinging to the right. There's Garnett. And then Armistead. We want Armistead up front to kind of absorb some of the musket fire, some of the rifle fire and all that. We're going to move Garnett off to the right. But I'm going to keep whoever that was, Johnston. We're going to keep him over here, because this looks like the main push. And those Mississippi rifles, they have a heck of a lot of range on them. All right, artillery. Maybe I can put it over. Well, there's another ford right here, unfortunately. I could be in some trouble. But I think I'm going to put the artillery right here on the left flank. And want to see. All right, yeah, so we can grab Pickett. Pickett's going to have to come up here and support this crossing. This looks like where most of the attack is coming. And then we still have some cavalry. We're going to cross the river with them. And I think we're going to keep them together. Sort of a little double trouble. In fact, that's not, here he comes. Here comes Johnson. All right, here they come. All right, Rebels, time to move up, buddy. There's a fence right there, right up against the river. But that'd be a very bad place to be because I would not be able to support, I don't have enough rifles with range over here to support. All right, let's get him positioned like so. McCulloch has taken 0 losses. Kind of surprising. But they are just doing a lot of maneuvering right now. All right, Ruggles, a little bit further forward, get into a decent range for your smooth bores. All right, this is the kind of defensive battle that we really, really need because we're heavily outnumbered out here in the west. And I'm going to move up. I know I don't want to do it, but I'm going to move up Johnston to try to get him within range. Oh, that was the wrong unit there. That was Smith. We're going to reposition him. Like this. And then Johnston just a little bit closer to try to get that artillery within rifle range. Okay, I think I'm able to reach it, so I'm just going to target it specifically. Okay, here they come. Let's bring the artillery up like this. And I think I might try to charge with either Ruggles or McCulloch. Probably Ruggles. I'm going to try to charge the next unit that comes across here and starts to break. So we'll slow it down to 5 times. And then I also have cavalry over here, which I'm forgetting about. So if they got artillery moving back here, they do. We can go back here and harass these units that are broken. And then over here, they're breaking, although there's another unit moving up immediately, so I can't charge in right now. And then our right flank actually looks okay. So Longstreet is going to cross over with Armistead. And who is that? Garnett. And he'll go across to lead them. I'll move Lee up here on the, like a little bit, see, well, back here. And then Pickett. We're gonna move him up here in reserve behind, nope, right here in the little town, I guess. And then I think we should still have good shots on artillery. Boy, Smith is like just weirdly positioned here. How's McCulloch looking? He's taking some losses. So we're going to replace him with Slack from Pickett's brigade. And we'll have McCulloch do a fallback move. Kind of get some relief. Oh, they're retreating. Dang, okay. How's my cavalry looking? Well, they're not in position, so probably not going to get much more out of this battle, but I think we're probably really good as far as the casualty ratio went, but we haven't inflicted as many losses as I would have liked on them. Although I might have a chance at their artillery with my cavalry here. Bowen is actually only stable, so I might keep him back. In fact, I'm going to move him over here. I'm going to put my cavalry into their own division, I think. Let's do it. Let's charge and see what happens. Go into an attack column. Cold steel is turned on. So go. They had 400 and some. I think we just captured like 100 troops there. And then I guess we'll do it again. This cavalry is a little bit, it's too unstable in my opinion. You can see it's like flashing, so well, they're chasing. Look at all those losses. Look at all the losses. Wow, that is an incredible result. 2,500 losses compared to 203. We did lose a gun. That is incredible. That's awesome. Hey, having cavalry, pretty cool idea. Yeah, I think I am going to throw those two into a division, like their own little division. That might help with the morale situation. Because when I send them off on their own like that, they're detached from the command because they're directly attached to Lee himself, to the headquarters. So they're like completely out of like normal range for anything. So if I put the division HQ with them, at least maybe it can follow them around a bit. Let's see, we captured 538, killed 330. We lost 28, essentially killed. Wow, that's big. Okay, that's really big. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna grab. We're gonna add a new group to him, and that is where the cavalry will go. And we're actually gonna add, if we can, I guess we could do some Georgia cavalry. Something out west here. New Mexico. There we go. New Mexico cavalry. There we go. 500 more. Anderson, is he a cavalry guy? Not really. And Daniel Hill is definitely not a cavalry guy. So let's put a cavalry leader there. Sibley, he looks pretty good. He could lead a cavalry division. Then this guy, can we give him cavalry as well? Because this is kind of important here. Hardy. Wow, he's good. That is a really good cavalry guy. And then, do we have any weapons or anything? Not really. We got musketoons. I guess we'll just throw them on there for now. I don't think we can produce any kind of cavalry weapons. We'll take a look at our weapons here. We can not produced. Yeah, it'll say like production only, like here on the howitzers. So we can't do that. It'd be cool if we could make some Lee Matt pistols. Lamat. They're like a they're like a 9-shot uh like like larger caliber pistol, like a 45 or something, with a single like 410 shotgun, or maybe like a 20 gauge or something, like single shotgun barrel underneath. All right, so we're gonna march back. We've completed our mission there. We have 5,000 troops in the Florida State Militia. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the most of it now, and they're fully supplied. So I'm gonna cross over into Kansas. And then take a look down here, Army of the Tennessee. Yeah, I'm going to go down here and try and capture Corinth. And then I have to move. I'm holding, so far I'm holding Tennessee. Here comes Army of the West. 15,000 troops. We're probably recovering a little bit here. Well, here they come. The question is, where are they going? I can't stop them. They're on the river. They're going to make landfall? Nope. They're going up here somewhere to hold back our Florida State Guard, I think. So we will counter march. Are there any little towns? There's a fort down. We hold that one. We could go all the way out here, but we have no supply hubs or anything. Do we have one down here? We do not. So in fact, we're going to pull all the way back down here and set up a supply hub before we go out there. Right, here comes Army of the West again. They're, let's see, Buell. Okay, well, that's over here in Ohio. And then we're looking pretty good here. 9,000 troops versus the Army of the Shenandoah. I think these are the ones that are poorly armed. Nope. Actually, some of them, but not many. Is it the Army of the Potomac that's poorly armed? No. Oh, it's my Army of Tennessee that's badly armed there. So I don't have to worry about it too much. So we're going to go ahead and march up here together. It's overkill for such a small enemy, but there are a lot of armies in the area here, and I just want to do like an auto resolve maybe. And I have a project complete here that I can work on. Let's see what we got. Assignable cavalry reform. That's military because it's got the little cannon. So is there anything I would rather have? Oh, I think so. We're doing okay. Like we're doing okay with our little 500-man cavalry battalions, essentially regiments. So I think we're going to just wait it out and try to get this. Try to get these cannons, because we can get the Napoleons, the 12-pounders. Yep, that was one of the favored weapons of the Confederates was the Napoleons. They were the smoothbores made them like not as long range and not as accurate. Oh, there it is. There's the fight out west. But they weren't as accurate and they weren't as long range as like a rifled cannon. But they were much easier to clean and maintain, like in the heat of a fight, because you didn't have the rifling, which would foul up with residue and all that. Unfortunately, I think the Napoleons were a little bit prone. The Confederate Napoleons were a little bit prone to bursting because I think they started making them out of cast iron. I'll have to maybe look that up afterwards, but I think that's how it was. You can see just what kind of, like, I think this is Antietam here. You can see the fence they were behind. Just look how chewed up it is by rifle fire. It's kind of crazy that you'd stand behind there and hope that the mini ball coming at you didn't go between the pieces of wood. All right, so it looks like it's going to be a race to the objective, and we have the advantage here because I don't know why. It just kind of randomly determines that, I guess. But we'll take it. We're going to grab Lee. We're gonna stay in double file this time for the march. Ooh. A little bit awkward. That's probably good enough. And then they are going to march down this main road, no doubt. At which point they have to decide if they're going to try to sweep around south to get in here, or to try to cross this Fulton's Gap. There's also this thing here to consider. So we'll do what we did before, where we're going to put Pickett on our left. We're going to put Pillow's Brigade kind of in the middle here. They're going to have more room to cross because we don't have fences that are right up against the bridge there. And then we'll keep Longstreet sort of in reserve a little bit with his longer range rifles. He can respond to wherever the enemy is going and kind of stand back and pummel them with those superior weapons. So let's get Lee. Let's see who's up in front. There's Pillow. That's actually good. So we're just going to march him right up the middle here. Who's next in line? Longstreet. He's going to go to the right. I should have put Pickett in front, but this will do. I think we have enough of a advantage here as far as being closer to the objective that we're okay. And then I think we're going to put the artillery right here on this little hill. And it doesn't. The hills don't really seem to matter that much, like the elevation, but we'll be kind of halfway in between the two. These are probably, in my opinion, the main options. And then Pickett's going to be on the left. And then my brand new cavalry leader. I might have him cross the river and do a little bit of harassment. I don't know. We'll see. And then Lee. There he is. We'll get him, just get him up here. All right. 20 times speed. Actually, it is kind of equidistant. They might get there before we do. We're gonna have the army. We're gonna have the army double time a little bit. Now, is that actually working? They are moving double quick. Okay, you know what? I don't know if we're going to get there in time. And our troops are going to be their condition. They're still rested. So now is the time to lay off go back to normal speed. So we're going to go turn off double time. So when they get here, they won't just be completely clapped out. All right, where is the division commander? There's Pillow. Smith, you're gonna have your work cut out for you here, buddy. You're at the tip of the spear. No, actually, that's a bad idea. There you go. There's Pillow's division. There's McCulloch. He's hurting from the last battle. So maybe Maybe we will just hold this fence line. They're going to have a lot of chance to reform right here before they come into us. But that's kind of our only option right now. Because the closer we get, they're going to have cover over there, and we have nothing to protect ourselves. Then we still have is Johnson. He's part of Longstreet's brigade or division. Sorry. Well, I can at least I can use Smith here. I can use him. Get over there. Put some shots into people like at right as they're getting on the other side of the river here. Yeah, they're gonna push real hard. All right, so we're gonna need Longstreet on the right. Let's see here. Longstreet's single line on the right. Smith is gonna start taking hits here in just a minute. All right, let's fall back. Go, go, go. Fall back, fall back, fall back. It's getting, oh, nice. Pillows in there, kind of reinforcing him. Or not reinforcing him, but like stabilizing the morale. We still need to be aware of where the rest of the Federals are going. But for the moment, we're going to do our classic door swing here. And we're going to put Armistead right up pretty close, right on their flank. Johnston, I mean, he's going to take losses no matter what here. But we're going to move Garnett up. Rifle versus rifle. I can't believe that Smith didn't break or anything. Very nicely done. Fall back. All right. Armistead, we might want you to charge here at some point. We're going to put you point blank on their right flank. Point blank on the right flank. And then I know we have artillery back here somewhere. That's Cooper. I gotta be a little bit careful because they're gonna march right through the middle of all that. So I'm gonna put them like this instead. And Pickett will be here whenever he feels like it, I guess. Sibley. We're gonna go to single line. And we're gonna put you out on the left. Again, they're gonna like march through all that mess, so I gotta be a little bit careful. Right, fall back with this infantry here that only have muskets. And we'll let Smith's brigade kind of tear this cavalry up a bit. Alright, time to charge. Nice, that worked out. I think I took a lot of losses, but it did work, sort of work out. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But we're going to have Armistead fall back again. He's breaking. He's nervous. Garnett. Johnston took a little bit of damage. So I'm going to swing him out to the right here to take Armistead's position. Like this. And Armistead's going to do a fallback that way, closer to the HQ. Johnston, come on, get your Mississippi Rifles involved here. Garnett. Ruggles, get up on that flank. And the enemy right now is kind of stuck in a choke point back there trying to get across the river, so we need to take advantage of this as much as we can. And then Smith, we're going to put on the corner here so he can fight Propa like. Ruggles, we're going to go back behind your fence. And then McCulloch, back behind the fence. And we'll see what the enemy does from here. Johnston doesn't want to move, no matter what I do with him. Oh, look at all that. Look at that. What are they doing? Smith, please get on that corner. Okay, we're looking pretty good there. McCulloch, he's not really fit for a charge, in my opinion. He took a lot of losses holding that bridge last time around. So he's a little bit iffy, I think. We're going to get Missouri, we're going to get Lee over there to rally. And it looks like all the fighting's happening here. So Pickett, if I can get him actually up here. Sibley, sure wish he would. And this is the part where we charge with both of these brigades and try to. So they're at 1,500 troops with 279 losses so far. I don't think we actually made contact. I think they just fell back. So Garnett, they're okay on fatigue, which means they're a little bit tired from that attempted charge. And then Johnston, he's rested, so they're a little bit better. Armistead back to being stable again. Okay, is that artillery on this side of the river? It is. So let's use our Mississippi rifles. Oh, we're gonna take long range on that one. Is that sharpshooters? Yes, plus 10% accuracy. And we're gonna scoot up here and just engage that artillery from long range. We can see the enemy is pulling back there. So we're gonna send Longstreet. We're gonna send Pickett. What kind of weapons? Just muskets. Okay, so Pickett. We're across the river on the right. I think the cavalry, well, it's all over here. Cavalry needs to cross over, get them out of those fences. I think it's more difficult for cavalry to get across fenced-in areas. Oh, so they are maneuvering. They are maneuvering. So Pilla's division, we're to swing out to the left here. And then our cavalry, maybe we can get across before they do. It's cavalry, you'd think they would. And then, who is this? Longstreet. Longstreet is just going to take up these positions here, like so. And Pickett is going right. Yep, they're swapping their positions around. So maybe we can have Longstreet run up here to the river and try to trap that. In fact, we have cavalry, which is already across the river, unfortunately. But we should be able to get them with the infantry. Oh, look, they're crossing. What the heck? Okay. Pillow. Go. Artillery. This is actually not a horrible position for them. Okay. They found a hidden ford. Alright, let's get the cavalry going up here. Garnets. I don't like this. So we're going to have him fall back. This is a little bit not great. And then Armistead can come over here and try to deal with that artillery. Ruggles, you're going to have to move up and take some of this. McCulloch, you too. I know you're not in the best condition after the last battle, but do your best. We have Pickett. We're going to push Pickett up to within musket range here. Go, go, go. We've got cavalry moving out on the far left flank there. And Smith has rifles, so we can. He's taken quite a few losses this battle. Actually, we're gonna halt him. We're gonna halt him, and Garnett can take that position. He's pretty fresh still. And then Johnston, I mean, they just have with that 400 range, just like very accurate. 500 range. Oh, that's too far forward. You can hold down shift to avoid deploying like into terrain features and whatnot. Okay. Like so. And am I on short range? Because I ordered these guys to charge. They are. So let's fix that. That is something you have to fix whenever you order a charge is they go into short range. Oh, we just destroyed an artillery unit. Not sure if that was a detachment from one of the brigades or if that was the actual battery. It probably makes a difference because the battery just won't show up anymore. Like it'll be gone. But if it's a detachment, then the battery's still technically alive, and it'll rearm once they get them new cannons. Okay, we're going to be a little bit outnumbered actually on the right flank here. But I might have a way to equalize that. Get the cavalry in behind them somehow. There we go. So I'll make sure I'm facing the right direction because facing really, really matters in this game because you get severely punished for a wrong move. Well, hang on, we can put a perk on Ruggles here. I think we're just going to go for sharpshooters because they will have rifles here someday. McCulloch. Actually, I can move Smith over here. He's taking damage, but at least I can get him involved. Then, here we go. This is our chance. We're going to do an assault column. And then charge. Nice. I don't know how good that was, but they're down 700 troops. Back into single file. Let's charge McCulloch as well. I need to put them back. Oh, they are on long range. That's good. So they've lost 700 before, 800 and some now. Oh, let's just charge them again. Okay, well, put them back on long range. And facing, fix the facing. And then we need to grab McCulloch. Put them on long range and reposition like so. It looks like we've won the right flank. Although this Bowen is still iffy. So what can we do with this cavalry? Let's pick it up here to this fence line, actually. There we go. I'm going to move the cavalry up here to cancel. Move the cavalry up here to harass this artillery that's running away. It's a battery. There's 37 troops left. If I can completely break it, they might just lose the whole unit. So this is going really well. All right, let's get McCulloch in here. Ruggles has taken some losses, but that's to be expected. They got muskets against. What was even going on there? They got muskets against rifles. So let's charge. 221 troops left in that brigade. Or 221 killed. 427. Now we're broken. What's going on over there? Why is that happening? We're going to assault, attack column, go, and go. Let's go with the Armistead down there. Well, he broke. Well, it looks like we're pursuing. I don't know if we're inflicting any losses. Looks like we broke. Yep, the cohesion's broken. Don't know if we inflicted any losses there, but let's just hold back and let it play out. Armistead, he didn't flee off the battlefield, so he's okay. 3,713 losses for the enemy. All of their guns, all 15. And then we lost 1,188, which isn't great, but considering a lot of that was just sort of fighting out in the open field, musket versus rifle, that actually wasn't too shabby. I think Pickett's division over there on the right probably lost quite a few. And then I think Armistead just like got smacked in that charge there at the end. But we're not doing too bad. I might need to replace Bowden as a commander of the cavalry there, because they're just not getting their morale back. I'm wondering if it's like a commander problem. I'll give it a try, and I can put Bowden in somewhere else at some point. Might be a cavalry guy. I don't know what he is. Okay. So we estimated killed 415. We lost 175. We captured 801. Captured almost 2,500 rifles and 8 guns. That's really, really nice, actually. And now, Missouri State Guard, having won its victory, is going to march back to St. Louis to recapture it. We still have a lot of trouble here. Department of the West and Army of the Mississippi. We're going to recapture Corinth. And then, let's save the game, actually. Okay. And then here in the east, we have we captured this? We're working on it. We're working on capturing a city in Ohio. All right, looks like Department of the Pennsylvania is running away. So we're just going to get up here. And so that's probably it for this episode, because we can't do any more battles. There's just not enough time. I wonder what this is. Embarking. Oh, cool. They'll be able to sail up the coast, I guess. We'll see how that turns out. But I'm probably just going to go ahead and record the next one, because this is pretty fun right now. Like we're doing pretty good. Let's check our projects real quick. Assignable, still cavalry, but we're getting close to the artillery. Not that close, but pretty close. And yeah, we're just going to call this one. We're just hours away from a new month. We'll get a new economic report and see how we're doing. So we'll do that. I'll be doing that in a few minutes, and you'll be seeing that in a couple of days. Like I said, we'll be releasing these every 2 days, I think, is the schedule. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.